Guys, for some reason it was messing up with my live stream I scheduled. I went to get on it and click on it and it was not showing up. So I had to do another one. So hopefully everybody finds me. I know there were people waiting. So I'll give everybody a second to come on over and find me. I'm like, what the heck, man? I don't know what's going on. It's being weird. El weirdo. So let me try to come find me. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to it. Now my camera's messing up. So hang on. Hey, Leroy. I'm like, wait, come here. So somebody was here. Come find me. I don't know what happened. I couldn't use the original link that I had set up for my live, so I do apologize. And my kids are not listening. Let's see if I can fix it on my own. Uh-oh. And I dropped something. Mayday! Mayday, mayday. So I'll give it a minute. See who wants to come on. Somebody was here and then they were not. Just a better. Hello. Sorry, I don't know what happened to my link. I went to go live on my link and it was gone. I don't know why I couldn't click on it. So I had to come on and do a different one. Weird stuff has been happening to me lately with electronics. So never you mind all that. It is what it is. So come on over. Hi. Happy Sunday. Woo. Happy Sunday. I'm doing my best. I've got I brought on some good there. I've tried to put my hair up and it's like, whatever. I was not born left-handed, let me tell you. Was not born left-handed. And man, all I want to do is sleep. So that's a good sign. Oh, God. And I'm not using my thingy today, so bear with me. But I'm super excited. There's definitely been some shifts in the energetic field. We aren't on the original timeline we were supposed to be on, so it's really hard sometimes to tap in because things change on a daily around the world. 222. So I'll just lightly play these for a moment while we wait for other people to come, see if anybody else comes. I don't know what happened to my original link. I could not find it in my setup stream. So I'm like, what the hell? So I had to create a new one, so I do apologize. I don't know what's going on. Just like I said, when I tried to do that healing the other day, these people never had that happen. And all of a sudden, like a psychic attack, they said, came. So I feel like the changes I'm going through have been trying to be messed with, blocked, prevented in some ways. So it is what it is. It is whatever. So I'm going to try to light my candles. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. My pretty candles. So I know there were people waiting on the other video. Hopefully they figure it out. 333. There's lots of synchronicities coming through on this one. And it never shows me any numbers. It says nobody's here. So it is what it is. So if you do come, say hello. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about today. I was listening to the most beautiful Indian music I had ever heard. I found these guys. I can't remember their name. I'll post the link under this video because it really was raising my spirits. They're beautiful Indian gentlemen, and they play on their, looks like bamboo type flutes. Just gorgeous. And they were playing this most beautiful music. And it was really upping my spirits. So I will share that with you guys after the video as well. And that's what I was doing rather than channeling a message. So I'll channel a live message for you guys. How is that? And while we're waiting, I'm just going to set some intentions. Use my blood red sage. Today, I'm going to attempt to make my wands, you guys, because I think I can do that left-handed. I think I can. I really do. 444. We've had 222, 333, and 444. So lots of synchronicities already for this live. I'm glad I came on. So I'm going to set my intentions while we're waiting and just do a clearing of the energy on the Wi-Fi signals in my channel. Oof, pardon me. Oof, oof. One-handed journeys are fun. It gave me a new perspective on how people deal with having one hand. It is not easy at all, at all, at all. So I call on the creator of all that is and all the angels too, and all of my guides and beings and soul tribes and spirit animals, anybody, because I had a blue jay coming in. Anything that wishes to be with me today to come in. Ooh, I even see fairies, you guys. And I ask that you give us a bubble of love and protection and support and understanding and the highest healing possible with every word out of my mouth. Only light in and only light out. And I also ask for protection on the Wi-Fi, the computer stuff, all these changing environments, and for the changes ahead. So be it, and so it now is. Amen. Amen. I had a really cool live yesterday on Facebook, so I've been doing them there again too. And I got to do mediumship, and it was such a beautiful experience. So I tried to channel for somebody else, and somebody else's loved one came through, which can happen. Spirit knows what's best, right? Hi, Gigi. Good morning. See, it's okay. It does actually say people are here. Yay! This thing messes with me. So come on in. Oh, I'm going to also set the intention that tons of people come over and receive so much information and so much love and joy from me today. How about that? Hey, hey. You know that song, The Sound of Silence? That's what these guys were playing music for. It was beautiful. I'm going to share that with you guys. It really did up my spirits. It felt so good. I got chills even talking about it. It was so beautiful. I am part Native American, they say, so I do relate with that very much. So I have shaman in me big time. I act as if I'm a shaman healer. I do the burping and the releasing in such a way. So it is a big time part of who I am. Tatanka has also come through, who was actually a Native American healer back in the 1800s, is when he was alive. And he is, you can actually look him up. His nickname, I believe, was Tatanka, or his Indian name or something like that. And so he's worked with me. He worked with me to clear Mount Shasta and other things. So yay, hi, whoop, whoop. Good morning. How is it going? I'm going to get the wands done. I'm going to work on them today. Spirit says, I was like, what can I do for money? They're like, just do things that bring you joy. I'm like, okay. Alrighty then. I will do that. I'm only missing one thing of joy. The rest, I can find my joy now. So that is one thing that was coming up, is finding our joy. One thing I used to struggle with when I first woke up, the Spirit would always tell me, find your joy, look within, find your joy. And I could never tap into it for the life of me. And then once my twin flame left, I realized how much being near him is a joy for me. And so I lost that piece, but I'm actually able to find my joy. So what it requires is healing. It truly just requires healing on deeper levels, healing what blocks your joy. A lot of times what blocks our joy is shadow pieces, deep wounds of the heart, shadow pieces. We can find fake joy, but I'm talking real joy, things that light your soul, light your power. You know what I mean? Your passion. That make you want to feel beautiful. That gets blocked with pain as well. So I'm just lighting this. I tried to lay on my floor today, you guys, which was so good because I can move my arm in ways I haven't been able to, which is so nice. It really, truly is nice to be able to do that, to stretch. I have to be careful. This thing is still very heavy. Look at this thing. It's like very bulky. There's like this thing in it. It's very, very heavy and bulky. Aw, yay. Gigi had a wonderful experience at a Christmas party yesterday. How exciting. I love that. but it's really good to hear. Hopefully like a mediumship experience, right? Yeah. I'm just trying to clear the space. So blood red sage is really good for psychic protection, psychic awareness, psychic enhancement, connecting to source, connecting to spirit, and removing any dark energies. It's also very good for cleansing for asthma, which is strange. How does smoke help with asthma? It does. It purifies the air. It also prevents bugs from entering your space. Sage is amazing. Blood red sage is amazing. Blue sage is amazing. White sage is amazing. I would recommend using them for many, many things. They also kill germs. They prevent sicknesses and things like that within your home. Super good to use. Super good to use. Alrighty. So finding our joy. Finding our joy is coming up. Spirit really wants everybody to be able to find their joy. What does that mean to find our joy? It can be very difficult. Is sage bad for animals? Just with everything, I wouldn't want to smoke out your house so bad that they can't breathe, right? What I would recommend and what I've always recommended, because my dog isn't bothered by it, I would say cigarettes and things like that are really bad for your animals. Just open your windows. So if ever you're saging your home, have your windows open. Okay. Hi, Donita. Good morning. So yeah, just have your windows open and be able to air it out at the same time. My dog is usually in the other room when I do it anyways, and so I've never really experienced any adverse reactions. But it also helps them. So it cleanses the air. It purifies your air. It really, truly does. It can help with things like asthma. It helps clear out negative energies and spirits. Good morning, Jacinth. Hello, everybody. And so there's so many benefits to it. The only thing you don't want to do is just be stuck in a room full of smoke, right? It's the smoke. Yeah. And so I would just open up the windows, and so that the smoke can be cleared as you go and air can still come into the environment. Just like anything, if you sit in a smoky room, that's all you're going to breathe is that smoke, right? But for the most part, it's just very healing and cleansing and purifying. It does help keep bugs away. Yep. Yeah. See, perfect. And then they come back in and the environment is purified and cleaned and things like that as well. You're so welcome. Absolutely. There's reasons I talk about these. I love talking about these things. So this one is my blue sage. I have these that are blessed on my website as well. And then I like this new blood red sage. This is a new discovery for me that I really like. And so there's that. Oh gosh, there's my arm. So they did want me to talk about joy. If we're having trouble finding our joy, it is usually because there's a wound that we need to discover and heal and work on removing. I can't get this off. This is from those stupid EKGs. Remember I told you they did EKGs on me and I looked at the results and it says normal. So forgive that. I'm like, I've showered, I swear. I keep scraping it up. It's not coming up. 1333. So there's that. Let's see what else. Joy. Yep. If you're having problems, then I would definitely look into what do I need to release to find my joy. Okay. It's super important. Maybe I'll do a meditation to help find our joy. I don't know. I'm coming up with lots of ways to just raise my vibration. That's what I want to do. And be the spiritual being that I've always been. And as I do that, I help my twin flame too. So that's really, I think about that a lot. Even though he's not here, I feel like he's supposed to be. And so it's always on my mind, and everything I do is a focus that way. So every time I do that, I'm like, I'm helping him too. And it just makes me do it even more. Rubbing alcohol, witch hazel, or Dawn dish soap. That's a good point. I could absolutely do rubbing alcohol, Dawn dish soap. Very much so could do that. Another thing with Dawn dish soap, you guys, and baking soda, it'll get any stain out of your laundry. So I had a shirt, my white shirt, and I washed it and somehow it came out pink. And I was like, son of a gun. And that's like stained. And I didn't 1441. I didn't even know 1444. There was 4 4s there. Why it came out pink. I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm like, this is my brand new shirt. Like, I love this shirt. And so I put baking soda and Dawn dish soap on it. And that's all I did. And I rubbed it together. And then I let it sit for just a few minutes, and I threw it in the wash, and I washed it, not in hot water, in like warm water, and it came out clean. That's perfect stuff. So I will use those. I'll try some rubbing alcohol, some Dawn dish soap today for sure. I think I was just being really gentle too, because when I first injured it, my whole arm hurt. It like jarred my whole arm all the way up into my chest and stuff. And so I've scrubbed it, but like I'm going to really go at it because that's bugging me right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. I got to keep it real right now because I'm injured. Oh, it's also good for, so baking soda and Dawn dish soap is good for armpit odor? That's very interesting. Oh, let me read that, Gigi. I'm sorry. Gigi told me about her experience. So hold on. She was talking to a friend. Aww. Oh. See, Gigi. Oh, it's so cool. So Gigi has been working with me, you guys, for the better part of a year. She's done, I don't know if you did stepping stones, all of the things that I've put out there, pretty much, in all my workshops and all my healings. And she has discovered she's a powerful medium, working for herself. She's just learning how, right? And we just did a workshop recently as well that ended up being like 3 hours long. It was really awesome, the workshop that I did for the mediumship stuff. I went over so many things. And so now she keeps getting visits, and Dawn dish soap alone. Cool, Amy. I will put some in my shower. I used to be OCD with my shower stuff. I'll tell you about that in a second. OCD is very real, and I've been diagnosed with that. So I kind of tried to break off of that the most I could, 555, when I said that too. But Gigi had a story, and she is being able to deliver beautiful messages all of a sudden for her friends through spirit, and just raising their spirits that way and healing in that way, because it's truly always about healing. Everything we do is about healing somebody. If it's about filling your pocket, you're doing it the wrong way. Your purposes are a little distorted in that way when it comes to healing things. If you do it for the purpose of healing, the sky is the limit, and spirit always provides. So it's such a gift when we get to do that. And Gigi's getting these moments where she's like, oh my gosh, her friend was there, and then her father came through to give her a message. And oh, that's so sweet. I know it brings such joy, doesn't it, to heal people and give them messages like that. And that's what happened yesterday on my live, you guys. Amy H was there. But I went on Facebook, and again, I haven't been there in a better part of 6 months to a year, because the energies had to shift. And now that they have, spirit's like, go back, get people that need you. I'm like, okay. And my joy is just exponential, because I'm no longer a wounded healer, and I love it. And I do thank my twin flame for that, because he forced me into major healing, which was a blessing in disguise. But so I went on there, and somebody wanted a message from their loved one. And so I didn't specify their name really. I just kind of tuned into the spirit realm and started giving a message from the first person that came. And she's like, no, my mom was short. That my mom. And I'm like, nope, she was tall. I kept pointing to her heart. And then I'm like, the books. She kept pointing to the books. And so I was giving everything that was given. And this other lady is like, that's my mom. She goes, my mom just died. And that's exactly, you're naming to a T everything. And she goes, we thought she had a heart attack. She threw 2 books off of her shelf like a week ago. And that's why she kept saying the books. It was intense. And I was like, oh. And so even though it was meant somebody else I was trying to read for, spirit has a mind of their own. Okay. It's whatever is needed. Whoever needs it the most tends to come through at that time. So I thought that was a really cool story, because I could have been like, well, shoot, I'm messing up, right? Which I don't usually do. I'm really pretty good at these things. They just come naturally for me. And it turns out it was much needed for the other lady. And it was her mom coming through. And I was able to confirm she did have a heart attack. And she validated the books. I had no idea what that meant. She's like, I literally had 2 books fly off my shelf the other day. And it was really cool. It was really, really, really cool how it all went down. And so I just thought that was a really awesome story to share, because it's an example of the fact of allowing ourselves to be extremely vulnerable when doing these things. I keep seeing 555 like crazy, you guys. Every time I look over, 555, 555. It's not an easy thing to do, to put yourself out there in such a way. It takes a lot of practice to feel confident in doing so, unless your ego is like really high, and in which case I would question if you're getting everything accurately. But anybody who truly is, like, it's a vulnerable thing to do, and it can get scary, and it can cause us to feel emotional, and have a really hard time delivering those messages, because at first it can also be hard to decipher, is that in my head? We can put our own little twists on these messages. And so there's a lot to it. And when you get something like that and it's supposed to be for somebody else and they're like, nope. And I'm like, I'm getting what I'm getting. And she's just like, nope, that's not my mom. And the other girl was like, that is crazy accurate, and it just happened for her. And so it was an ability to still trust in what I was getting, even though the receiver was not the correct receiver. It was somebody else on the live. Does that make sense? So it's really important to still believe in yourself, still trust in yourself, and allow for that pure vulnerability, which is not easy at all. My hair looked better in the mirror. I'm like, I was left-handed trying to put it up with my really pretty clip, and it didn't work out so well. I love this clip though. It's so pretty. Check that out. I love it, but it's heavy. So I'll just take that off because it's kind of bugging me. I'm like, no, I look better in the mirror until I got on the live, and then not so much. But so I'm going to try to channel a message to see what Spirit wants to talk about, and we will go from there. So again, Archangel Raguel is stepping forward, and so is Haniel. Raguel and Haniel I usually call on. They've come through for my meditations before, and it truly is all about joy. In these changing times, we are going to go into things that might seem difficult for all on some levels, and it's super important to find your joy. Do things from a place of joy. Do things from a place of happiness, things that bring smile to your face, and find your passion. That is the best way to ascend quicker. That is the best way to get through these changing times that are coming ahead, and do our best to stay out of it. And that's really their message, 2225. And that's really their message for today, is if you are lying to yourself, if you're not following your inner guidance, if you're not coming from a place of pure joy, it's really, truly hard to navigate these new energies coming forward, to understand how to push this new energy coming forward, and to create. I'm just channeling. I'm not even staring off into anything. I don't know if somebody's asking about that. I'm like totally zoning out. But to create your place of beauty and peace and abundance and prosperity, it has to come from a place of joy. Otherwise, you're only going to create so much. Okay. And there's a difference between the old world and the new world energies. There truly, truly is, where you could get money and you could do all of these things, but it still may not be a solid foundation. And those are things that are also going to fall away as we go into the new earth, 2322 and 2323, when I said that. And so be mindful of that. What once worked no longer will. And this is true, 2333. Unless you're already a being who resides in a higher frequency and you're already well aware of those things, or there's only a few of us really on this earth. And I don't know who's asking about the 144,000. I keep hearing that in my head, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But that is Haniel's and Raguel's message for today. Telepathy is very real, and apparently it's very strong right now. I don't know why. But it's truly about finding your joy and finding your happiness, and that's where your passion lies. It truly does. It's in something that creates that passion and that you don't want to stop. Nobody can stop you. And it truly does come from also a place of creativity. So tap into your solar plexus, your sacral. I truly, they always say your sacral is about where your creativity lies and things like that. I think it's both. Your solar plexus is also a key feature, and that's what they're saying as well. So be mindful to your lower chakras and tap in and find what makes you happy, because that is where you're going to be able to create and manifest like crazy. Okay. Does that make sense, you guys? So it literally says I only have a few people on here, and I know there's more. So it is what it is. I'm just going to roll with it. And I'm reading about the 140. Somebody wants to know about the 144,000. So I never paid attention to what that was. That one Fabio guy that I've shared on here, I always call him Fabio. He kind of irks me that way. Like I don't like that. It's like, I think he was like the dark-haired Fabio. But he's a really nice guy. And every time he does his videos, he's got like that superhero shield behind him, Captain American shield behind him. And that's what I always see when I see him. But he channels a lot about the 144,000 and the apocalypse and the end of days. And sometimes it's a little bit intense what he channels. So I don't watch everything. But he talks a lot about the 144,000. I think he is a part of that. And really what I've come to understand through my things, through my meditations, the last workshops we did on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 9th of November were biblical. And that's what they told me. It's also Nikola Tesla Codes 369, 1369, and then we did something on the 11th, and it would have been the 13th as well for the trauma release. But what they have informed me is I send out messages from my forehead to them so they can feel the tingling in their head. All of them have this, and I'm sure my twin flame does too. But they all have this tingling right here in their head. And Malachi has stepped forward for me and told me that Malachi is like the leader of the 144,000. Malachi also tunes into my twin flame. He's a communicator right now between my twin flame and I. And I truly believe he's helping my twin flame wake up on his path and heal and do all of these things for him. It's a really beautiful connection that they have. It's more their connection, I think, than mine and Malachi's. But I've worked with Malachi several times over. Okay, I know this is a lot. But the 144,000 truly are like angelic beings. I guess you can call us that. We just reside in a different frequency from a different realm. And we're here to help raise the vibration in such a way. And it's like God's army. That's what I'm hearing. It's like God's army. It truly is. So they're like, and that Fabio guy talks about it really well. It's like this shield of God. And through all of us, the energy, the fluctuations, the vibrations help this ascension in such a way. We're helping raise the vibration of the planet and the ascension in a large, large way. And according to the Fabio guy, only 144,000 people are going to make it through. I find that a little difficult to believe, being that I'm the one who's brought about this ascension. And a lot of my manifesting is that everybody gets to ascend who wants to ascend. So it's all about what you're willing to release and wake up to and come through. So I think the 144,000 was a baseline number. And I truly believe that every one of them gets to wake people up and bring them through as well. Like my twin flame, once he steps into the reality he's supposed to be in, he's going to bring people through with him. If he doesn't, then all of them suffer and don't make it. Does that make sense? And so if we're not willing to listen to our inner guides, we could be hurting other people as well. And so keep that in mind, because especially anybody who follows me can listen to me. You're leaders. You're not followers. I don't wake up leaders. I wake up followers. I don't teach people to be a follower. I don't wake up followers. I wake up leaders. I don't teach people to be a follower. You are truly a leader, and you're truly here to help change you, which helps changes everybody around you. And it gives everybody an option to heal and wake up. And that's all it takes to ascend. Okay. That's really, truly all it takes. So the 144,000 are higher frequency beings. We're all connected by this weird vibration in our forehead. On the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th, the last meditations I did or workshops to open the portals, they told me that I send messages to them through the forehead. It's like, wake up, raise your vibration type stuff. And so when I feel it, I wouldn't doubt that my twin flame feels it and that all the others feel it too. If they're awake, some may not have woken up yet. 29, 22. And so we got to keep that in mind as well. The more we do it, the more we raise our own vibration. We're helping raise the vibration of the planet. Okay. And for those around us. Because my twin flame is a leader. He's my example that I have because he's my other half. And I know he's a big part of that. And that's what Malachi told me as well. He is a big part of the 144,000. So as I'm healing me, I'm healing him. He's waking up and he's helping them wake up more. Does that all make sense? And Malachi is a big part of that as well. And so is that Fabio guy. So, he is a big part of that as well. Except for some of the things he channels are a little intense. And I feel like they can create fear. So just be really careful of that, because there's no reason to be in fear. If you're in fear, you can be in trouble. Okay? Fear is what they used for the V. Fear is what they use to convince everybody you're going to die if you don't get the V. And then lo and behold, people who didn't get it are living just fine. And the opposite is actually occurring. They're reporting on a lot more. So be mindful. 3033 of that is there's a lot of people with it starting to get very ill and have issues. So just be mindful of all of that. Okay, but it is all relevant. It is all related, and it is all a part of the ascension. There, I answered somebody's question because I know somebody was asking about the 144 in my head. So I hope that covered everything for you. It truly is like God's army and a higher frequency group that is here to raise the vibration and bring about protection and love, which is what my twin flame and I were supposed to also bring about. And hopefully we still get to. It's still my hope that he comes and loves me and kisses me and proposes to me and we're together forever, because we're supposed to be. The contract that I have with him talks about marriage and unity. And so I hold space for that. It is what's supposed to occur on a deep, deep level. I love him very much so. 3131. So I still have faith it's going to occur. And it may be last minute, but damn it, it's going to occur. And everything is going to be fine that way. I only wish I could go back in time and love him so much from day one. But I really, truly didn't know. And so I know he didn't as well, all the way. He knew a little bit, but I know we both didn't know all the way. So be mindful. Even what we may not understand affects us deeply. So if you're getting nudges to do something, if you're getting nudges to heal something, if you're getting nudges to do something with somebody like a workshop, I would do it. Whatever it is, I would follow that because there's deep reasons behind it. And the time, we don't have time. Time is false. Okay, Amy. So if your forehead tingles all the time, then I would say you're definitely a part of that group. And I would pay close attention to it. Okay. So when it does tingle, I would be meditating. Absolutely raise your vibration. 3233. That might be part of the question. When your forehead is tingling, drop in, calm your mind and meditate and do your breath work, raise your vibration, dance, do whatever you got to do. I truly feel like it's all about raising our vibration and waking up through and through. Okay. And you do that just by meditating. Meditating is important. Meditating is learning to control our mind. 3303. Our mind is attached to the matrix, the ego mind. And that's what we learn to control when we meditate. The more you do that, you guys, the more you'll wake up. That's what really sparked my awakening. If you're with somebody that can promise you a Kundalini, I would question that. Absolutely. I've had a massive Kundalini awakening and I gave it to myself. Only people who can have one can have one. If you're not designated to have one in this lifetime, you won't have one no matter how much somebody says they can give you one. 3333 when I was saying that. However, it doesn't mean that somebody with Kundalini energy can't heal you clearly or raise your vibration exponentially type of stuff, right? But I see so many people and they're like, we're going to do a Kundalini rising, and they guarantee you all these things about activating your Kundalini, and that gets me. The way I activated mine was following my instincts, learning to, all of a sudden I'm a master, so I was doing things master status, and I didn't know that at that time. But I was just doing what my body told me to do. I was pulling energy up into my heart. I was doing breath things. I was teaching myself to meditate because I'd never done it before until my dad died. And I watched him die and I had to pull the plug on him and all this kind of crazy stuff. And so that was the last straw of all the trauma that caused me to go within. And I truly went deep, deep within. And it was every day. It was constant. It was not 1 hour a day, you guys. My whole day was consumed by feeling better That was my goal. 34, 44. I went to therapy because I'm a therapist. I have a psychology degree. And I'm like, maybe I need therapy now to help me through this, because I was diagnosed OCD and severe PTSD. And she kept telling me, Bree, you're normal. Like, you're good. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, something's wrong. I'm still so like not okay. And therapy was not the answer. It wasn't. There's things in therapy that also work. So some things I give you are so from that degree. And I'm a behavioral therapist, behavioral specialist. And so those are very beneficial things, but it's not the end all. It's not the final answer, and it's not completely how to heal. The best way to start healing yourself is controlling our mind and learning to drop in. And it can be difficult at first. And so I was literally drawing up energy. I was doing these breath things. The breath work is super important. The ones that sparked my interest, I was doing them. And the next thing I knew, I had a major Kundalini arising, which is this, they call it their image for it is the snake in the base of your spine. And you activate it and it like uncoils and rises up. I actually 35, 55. I actually felt it rise up. I felt it tingling all the way up my spine, up into my head in a big, big way. And it was like pure euphoria. I was like, oh my God, why did this take so long to feel this? It was the best feeling in the world. I didn't know what it was at the time. I'm like, what is happening? I was talking to my friend at the time, like, what is this? Why did this take so long? And they said it wasn't time yet. If I'd had that happen too early, it wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to happen when it was supposed to happen. Kundalini energy is very smart. It's a life force. It is your life force energy. It is smart. It has a purpose of its own to spark major healing, major awareness, major enlightenment, and major power. And what it does for you is individual. Okay. Who I was, it started me doing really crazy things. I could see like crazy. I saw the first fairy I'd ever seen, and it was wounded with this weird black creature standing over it when I saw it in Manitou. I saw Athena pop into my eye. She like looked in my eye. So did Catherine, who was my spirit guide. Like, these were very vivid visuals. It was intense. It was enough to blow somebody like out of their mind, right? But it was very awesome. And then from there, I was traveling. And so they call that remote viewing type of a thing, or astral traveling. I feel like it's beyond that. I would literally pop out of my body and travel to places, one of them being the White House. I handed the president some papers. These were things I just started doing right after it. It was super cool. So that's what a Kundalini awakening is. That's how you kind of start learning to control your mind. That's how you start to heal and can do all of these kinds of things. If you're not willing to do that right now going forward into the new world, it could be difficult to navigate. Okay. I would truly think about coming up with a meditation routine. And if it's difficult, do your best to work it through. Where your effort goes, your benefits lie. Understand? And right now, there's more than we all know. And I'm the one who brought a lot of this about. Hi, Amy H. And I still don't understand all of what's to come, because they won't tell us everything. They won't. But I will tell you this, you guys. Right before I got on today, I was meditating, closing my eyes, listening to that beautiful Indian music. And I saw a vision again of a massive wave. This is not the first time recently that I've seen this, 3833. It's like this big, massive wave that starts coming over. And I'm just like, okay. And then I quickly, it always like jolts me out of my meditation when I see that. And so I keep seeing it. I feel like water is very much so relevant and in play. Okay. It just truly, truly is right now. So be mindful of your surroundings. And I keep feeling about food. So one of the things I first did also was plucked all of the farms that had GMOs. That's one of the first things they had me do, is take out farms that had GMOs. And so if you think your food is not going to be affected in a mass way coming soon, I would think you'd have another thing coming. I've been telling my kids since that day, we got to get off meat. Like, it's a big deal. Like, unless you know a small farm around you that is natural and they don't, I would go there. And I would start, and I think I've said this before, is I would start navigating towards smaller things that get it from local farms. Okay, that is our best bet going forward for food. It really, truly is. I think the large conglomerates are going to be the first things that go. And I'm just telling you what Spirit tells me and what I've seen that I've done and what I know is coming for sure. Is that 555. If you think things are going to remain the same, where we're always shopping, we always have these abilities, we always have this mass amount of food, you're wrong. Okay. You're just wrong. I feel like it's going to be more small community based, more family oriented, and more natural oriented, period. Doesn't mean we're going to have nothing. I don't think we're all going to suffer on that level. I do think, however, our planet, the map and things, it's going to change. And I've said that before as well in my workshops because I know the work that I did. You don't cut off life support to Mount Shasta in California and have nothing happen. And that's just what it is. Okay, I've said this many times before. And for some reason, it's coming up today. These are the things they wanted me to bring up. And so that's what I'm bringing up. And somebody had asked about the 144. So I answered that. If you are a person that has your forehead tingle, it is your responsibility to follow your inner guidance. It's all of ours right now. It's a best bet, right? Everything through free will. But raise your vibration, and you do that through meditating, watching what you put in your mind space. It doesn't mean you can't ever watch a scary movie or something like that, but definitely not when you wake up, definitely not all day long, and definitely not before you go to bed. Super important to take control of what you're putting in and what you're putting out. Okay? Very, very important. Okay? So those are the things they wanted me to cover for the collective right now and for what's coming. And then about joy, finding your joy. If you have a hard time finding your joy and creating out of joy, your mission is to heal and keep healing. 4141 and heal deeper. 4444. Okay, because it's important. That's how you find your joy. It truly, truly is. It just truly is. That's how we find our joy. And I will do a guided meditation. I'm feeling the nudge to do one. If you guys have suggestions, anybody who comes on the lives and you want a certain type of guided meditation, throw it out there. Okay, I just may end up doing it. I mentioned that on Thanksgiving that I wanted to do that, and nobody was responding. So I figured that I would just throw it out there randomly as my gift to the people who do follow me and who do like my videos or at least comment or part 4222, at least participate in some way, benefit in the things that I give. If you guys have suggestions and want certain types of guided meditations, let me know and I'd be willing to do some for you. Okay. Diet. Super important. All right. Now let's see what message they want to give today in the card form for the collective. I don't have my phone with me. Oh, good Lord. Hey, Leroy. It sucks being broken. Look how big this thing. I'm going to show it again. Like, I don't have my thing on now. You guys can see what I'm talking about. This sucker is heavy. You see how it's wrapped around? Like I can feel my skin here, but not on top. It's got this casing around it, and it's so heavy. And trying to lift it with my arm is what still kind of hurts. I'm able to sleep in different positions now. It's been 1 week, and look, I can move my fingers. Whoop, whoop. I'm like so excited on the healing progress that I've had with this. Like I truly am. I'm really proud of myself with it. And every time I go in for other healing, the angels are helping me heal it. Jesus came through and actually grabbed my hand one day and helped me heal it. And so there's been a lot of healings done. I go Tuesday back to the ortho, hoping to get this taken off because this is hurting. This is what's hurting me. And then I'm hoping not to have a cast. She mentioned the possibility of a splint. And so that's what I'm going for. But something better than this one, please. Like it ends like right here would be great if they can, because I know my radial bone, which is attached to my elbow, is affected. But heal. I've been healing it. Angels have been healing it. So miracles are all around, right? That's what I'm saying. Hang on just a second. My kids can't hear me, and I don't know why. So I'm going to have to yell, Leroy! I apologize. I need my phone. This is the only thing I'm like, I'm done with this. I want to be pretty. 44, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4 again. Okay, I just want to be pretty in myself again. The things we take for granted. And then we realize, crap, I can't do that now. And I really miss it. I really do. I shaved my legs yesterday left-handed. And I'm like, this is weird. But, it's not easy. It's a little difficult. So I could use the love of my life helping me do things like that, which would be weird. But honestly, I think it'd be sexy too. So I got some visions going on I ain't going to share with all of you. But I think it would be nice. So let's see what the cards, what they want to say coming forward for the energy. Use this energy to manifest, and that's why they're talking about joy. You're going to create your new reality best out of places of joy. If you're not doing that, you might be in trouble. Can you help me? I need my phone. I've been trying to call one of you guys and nobody's hearing me. She's laughing. Grab my phone for me. Thank you. That's okay. I know. I was like talking and ouch, neither one of you were hearing me. So I'm just checking. Well, that's weird. So I had grandma message me yesterday to pick up the kids, and now I have their auntie doing it. And I'm like, hope grandma's okay. It's weird. Ever since I forgave my ex, he's like messaged me twice. His grandma died, now his aunt's dying. And I'm like, good Lord. There's a lot of people starting to go, you guys. Next year is what they're calling the year of the purge. And you can see people talking about what's coming in 2022. I have not watched any of those videos because I already know the work I've done and what I've been shown. So next year is the year of the purge. Okay, keep that in mind. What does that mean? All right. This goes partly with the message I've already given. Oh, again, this one. I like it. This one. I pulled this one in the middle of the night for my twin flame journey. New beginnings excites me. Oh, and positive movement forward, my friends. Positive movement forward. Keep going. Keep going towards that light and hope. Oh, snap. A lot of major arcanas, which depends on our decisions we make, right? You hold a lot of power in your hands. You should always have hope. And I lost hope in my twin flame journey. I truly did, because he's never shown up, and the angels would kept telling me he was going to show up, and then he didn't. And then I got injured, and you'd think it'd been right at my door going, oh my God, baby, are you okay? But he wasn't. So I lost hope. It can be difficult to hold hope sometimes, but find it, because it is a key to everything. If you don't have hope, you can't bring it about. And that's the truth. Okay. It goes beyond hope though for manifesting. It goes to knowing that you are well supported, you are well guided, you are well taken care of. It's just true spirit cannot go against free will. Okay, so have hope. Hold that power in your hands. Hold the strength in your hands. And the sun is really coming into play here. But for those of you who've done my workshops, know that I've moved the sun. I've brought the sun. At Lake Titicaca, there was something taken from the sun, and I ended up releasing that back. And so there's been a lot of changes with that. It's not a joke that when they talk about solar flares, they're very real. And keep in mind, it's all about positive movement forward. And I think I said this, I did a channeled message yesterday on Facebook. It was about take movements of joy every day to create the bigger picture. Okay, it's all about those little movements every day that creates your place of wonderment. Okay, and if you're not making them, it can truly bite you in the butt, because financial and material changes are about. Okay, and this card really truly represents being able to follow your guidance and navigate the changing movements and listen very carefully. If you can do that and create from your place of joy and have hope, then you're going to be okay. Does that make sense? And so this one truly is about big changes coming, financial and material changes. It's not all a negative. It can be a negative if we're not listening to that inner guidance. It can create a situation where we have lack rather than abundance. So it's super important to tune in, because these colors also represent your chakra systems, being able to listen. And I'm also hearing with marriage. And I don't know why I'm hearing that. But super important to follow your guidance, okay? Because that's where the abundance really lies. Otherwise, it can be lack rather than abundance, okay? And then there is new beginnings abound. I pulled this one for the twin flame journey as well, which makes me so excited. New beginnings and bound. New beginnings in the earth, new beginnings in relationships, new beginnings in love, new beginnings in light. The possibilities are endless according to the choices you make. And that's what all of these are saying, okay? These ones truly represent your mind space. Get control of your mind. Take those small steps every day from your guidance, from your internal knowing, and it's going to help you create magical abundance. All right. I know Amy Age is on that path. She's going to be rich soon. Like, she's doing it. She's doing it. She is doing it. And so it's very real. And sometimes it can feel challenging, but it's truly about controlling your mind, asking for the guidance, and following what you get, period. And then having hope, but it goes beyond hope. It's knowing that what you want is yours. You just have to let it be. You have to have faith, 50-55, and trust that it's going to come through. Okay? Those are beautiful messages, and they go very well with the channeled message I gave. The angels are really adamant about the changes that are inbound. And if you can create from a place of joy and hope and love, then it's endless abundance for you. If you're not following your guidance and you're not listening and you're surrounding yourself with lower vibrational people and things of that nature, you're going to hurt you, you're going to hurt them, and it's going to go into lack rather than abundance. Okay? Keep that in mind. Super important. And then I'm going to pull a couple masculine cards. I have that song in my head. I want to share it with you guys after this video. I'll post it below. Ha ha. I can't make this up. Step out of your comfort zone, my friends. There is no growth in the comfort zone. You cannot grow when you're in your comfort zone. It's not comfortable to learn how to meditate at first either. It can be frustrating. Ooh, a fiery climax approaches. Ooh, a fiery climax approaches. That's not a joke. That's really real. Goes with the wave I saw earlier too. Waves of change. And then again, balance spirituality and practicality. Okay, it's all about balance. Balance spirituality and practicality. It's not an easy thing to do at first, 5222. That's why I had that course, Balance for Prosperity, which I redid, you guys. So I got to send that out. But going within and being spiritual, following your guidance, acting upon that guidance, doing the things that you need to do, applying for what you need to apply, changing what you need to change, and then going back in and being in joy and happiness. There's your formula. Okay. Get connected and do things from a place of being grounded and a spiritual. And then knowing that you actually have to still put effort towards things, right? Because when you get in a higher vibration, you can call everything in. But if you're not putting action out, it's an imbalance. Okay? Everything has to be in balance. It truly, truly does. And that was really hard for me to get at first because I'm so highly connected and was so in that Kundalini energy and doing all these crazy things 24/7 spiritually. And so it's really hard to come out of that and still be practical at times. And so it can be a challenge to learn at first. It really, truly, truly can. Be bold and make the first move. This is an important one they're saying for somebody. Whoop, whoop. Focus, Daniel's son. Focus. Hello, focus. Thank you. Be bold and make the first move. Okay? You've got to. That's the only way to get our dreams to come true, or the best love you've ever had, or to make somebody happy, or to put a smile on your own face, or to create the changes you need to create. That's like what makes rich people different from everybody else. They're bold and they're out there making the first move. They're out there. The early bird gets the worm. That's where that saying comes from. They don't wait. They don't sit on things. They wake up at the butt crack of dawn and they get their job done. Procrastination doesn't exist. And when they make a mistake, it doesn't take the world down. They're like, okay, let's go this way and let's do it with the quickness. Okay. Procrastination cannot lie, cannot exist in creating a reality. Otherwise, you're not going to create great things. And it could hurt somebody, right? So be very careful with that. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. So we're all going into it. If you're not in it, then I would say you may not be ascending, right? Anybody who is, anybody going through these changes is in Earth School. You're learning in a different way. It's about your soul growing, studying the difference from the old world to the new, understanding the new energies from the old, higher learning, okay? Truly, truly is about higher learning, taking bold steps forward into things you've never done before, because what's coming for you is not something you've ever had before. All right? It's just not. We're going to come into a simpler time. It's one of the things I channeled too. 5555, lots of fives. One of the things I channeled was about, it says it on one of my things. It's too many sounds, the words become broken. Changing times now to a world less spoken. If you want to know what's coming, it lies in that. Okay? Too many sounds, the words become broken. It's too noisy. It's too it's too focused in the wrong way. 555. 55555. That's not a joke. We're changing times now to a world less spoken, but it's also not going to be what you think, because it's going forward as well. Okay? We're not just fully going backwards. We're also going forward. It's like we're bringing the old times back into a new way. It's weird. But it's true. It's what's going on. It's what's coming forward. It's going to be 60s here again today. I was thinking we were going to have snow again. It might get colder. It keeps changing. And so just be mindful. Nothing is the same. Nothing is going to be the same. And the timeline shifted a little bit. So it may get a little clunkier than we originally thought. That's just the way it is. Not if things can go accordingly very quickly. So just keep being mindful of your mind space, because we all affect each other. 5656. Okay? These are big messages, but this is all what Spirit wanted me to talk about today, because it's about what's coming forward. So I'm trying to think, is that all they wanted me to talk about? Is that all they wanted me to talk about? All right. And then I did get a donation or an order. I'm not sure. Hang on. Oh, and I also wanted to talk to you guys about Amy, was this for today for a message, or was this for the course? Let me know. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the Christ light coming down. They are changing it till the 18th. So we will be doing it on the 18th. Okay. Which makes sense, because then 8 and 1 is 9, and it's all about new beginnings and releasing the old. So be mindful of that. Let me know, Sunshine. Was this Amy D? Was this for I'm trying to pull this up. It says I got a new order. Show me the light. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Fill me in. Let me know. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. I will take a look and get right on it. I'm so excited. 555. If you want a little message today, because you're never around for him. What did I say? What did I say? Which part, Amy? What did I say? I was kind of talking to Amy D. I might have said Amy H on accident. What did I say? Oh, Amy H, you weren't on here. I'm going to get to making the wands today. I truly, truly am. But Amy D, if you want a card message, I would be glad to do one for you if you have a question, because you're never able to do that. And you just placed an order, so why not? I said about the... Yeah, okay, good. And I also said about the Christ Light workshop is being changed to the 18th, probably to give things time to be where they need to be. So that's that. It was going to be the 8th, and now they're saying the 18th. And so I'm going with that. And I think they want it, I'll see what day the 18th is for what time we do it. So yeah. That is the way that's going. Does anybody have any questions or have anything specific they want me to talk about or go over, or what y'all want me to do? Do you have any meditations you want to recommend for me to do? I would be honored and cool. That would be really cool if you guys can pick some. Did you really try signing up for it and it wouldn't go through? Well, I'm going to change it today. So just hang on a little bit. Get right after this, I'll change it, and then I'll post the link to it under my thing. Okay. Because I'm going to change the date and I'll see what's going on with it. And then I'm going to do the wands today because I think I can with my, I have an urge to do it. And what's really weird is I feel like I need to make one for my twin flame. If he ever comes around, he'll have one too. And that's just popping in my head. 555. So I don't know why that came up. I've never thought about that before. I don't know if he wants one. Saturday, perfect. Thank you, Gigi, because they wanted at 2:22. And I'm like, if that's a weekday, then we're screwed. And Monday evenings are secured because I do a coaching session that day, and I've got that wiped out on my calendar. So that's perfect. Okay, Amy, you want to know you need to heal to bring in your soulmate? You think you know? Absolutely, I can tap into that for you. Absolutely. It also may have to do with the changing energies with the soulmate, the twin flame things as well. So what I want you to do is give space, number one, and just every day act like you're dating yourself. That's coming through, number two. So Amy, do you do things that make you I know this is a little personal, but do you do things that make you feel sensual? Because that is a really good way to bring in men, but be careful because you might get a lot. So when I do these things and I tune into my sexual side of myself and I just feel, it doesn't mean like I'm doing weird things. It's just literally feeling sensual and beautiful and worthy. I will get guys knocking on my door, literally, and blowing up my phone, and exes coming around. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not what I wanted. So be mindful of that, 222. It's being able to tap into the sexual side of yourself. Did you do that workshop with me where we tapped into that? It was like Aphrodite and Athena, and we did healing and tapped into that sexual side of ourselves. That's kind of what's coming up here. It's tap into what makes you feel sensual. It doesn't mean that you have to do weird things or anything other than allowing yourself to feel beautiful, okay, and sensual. And so that's kind of the key they're looking for. But the question is, what's blocking you from feeling that, right? What is blocking me from feeling sensual and beautiful? They want you using 444 hertz or 423 hertz music. One of the two would help you with that vibration. And that's interesting. So search those up. I can maybe even integrate that into my next meditation. I'm not sure. Hey, maybe I could do that for a meditation. Do like you probably did 333. So maybe I'll do that for my next meditation. How to tap into our sensual self, how to feel more sensual, and to remove the blocks that keep us from that. So everything stems from healing past things. Okay. It's truly about going deeper into healing those aspects of the shadow self. And I'm going to tell you, they are telling me for you, it's not being worthy. It's not feeling beautiful, and it's not being worthy. But you are very worthy. You are very beautiful. And there is a sensual goddess in there. Okay. There truly is. Truly, truly is. Like my twin flame don't even know who I am. Like I can tap into that, let me tell you. And so it's about, interesting, Amy. So I pulled two cards on it for you. And it's about conflict and defeat of the memories of love. Past memories of love that were not love, that made you feel conflicted and defeated. It made you feel like no matter what you did, you couldn't do anything right. You couldn't please this person. You couldn't do anything right. And you were not worthy. You were basically felt nasty in your own skin. And it comes from memories of an old place of love. This is interesting because I'm hearing a couple things here. So there's like a good old person and one that's not so good. So one was really good and one was not so good. And it's the one that made you feel conflicted and defeated and war-torn. Yeah. Okay. So we really, truly need to, one of the easiest ways we can heal that on our own is writing a letter to that person and also to yourself. These are not easy letters to write, and they truly tend to make us go in deep release. Okay? Because it could also be somebody from your past stepping forward in the future, is what they're saying. So it may already be somebody you know, but it's not the person that made you feel conflicted and defeated by any way, shape, or form. It's a deep, deep wound, and I really do feel like it's at the surface. Sensual meditation would be great. All right. I will do that. That'll be the next one I do. I haven't done one of those on my channel yet, have I? That'll be a lot of fun. I will call on the goddesses and I will bring forth a sensual meditation for male and female to help you tap into the sexual beings that we are. But please don't use them for people who does not, like, not of your highest and best. Okay? Yes. See? Exactly. But so truly this person made you feel like no matter what you did, you couldn't do anything right. But the key here is that was not of you, that was of them. Those were their wounds. And I feel like they had a lot of mother damage and they were taking it out on you. And so there's two keys here, Amy, is mother love. You need to give yourself some mother love. Nurture yourself much as you would do a child and allow yourself to feel that love, okay, that you give your kiddos, which is weird. And I want you to kind of start dating yourself a little bit, okay? So I'm going to dress up and I'm going to look really beautiful for my own benefit because it should benefit me. It should be about how it makes me feel, right? Like that sensual and beautiful. And I'm not talking about hooker boots and stuff like that. That's stuff you wear for other people, not yourself, right? Dress up in such a way where you feel beautiful and sensual, and you can do that in a full skin dress, like, you know what I mean? It's like a little distortion of what some women put out there to what truly is beautiful, if that makes sense. And I think our views of it have become distorted over the years. Like, I never show too much, ever, 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 to feel beautiful. Okay, so it's not about that. It's truly about putting on what makes you feel like a woman, what makes you feel like a goddess, what makes you feel like you can rock that person's world because you know who you are and you know where your love lies. And you know what a beautiful gift you are to this person because you're loyal, you're honest as hell, like trustworthy to the T. And I'm getting chills as I'm saying this. You are somebody who would make their world go round. You are somebody who would create a future for this person of heaven on earth. You are, the chills are intense. You are somebody who knows how to dance to a different drum. And that is a gift, Amy. That is a gift. You are somebody who can dress their world in magnificent colors, who can feel their feelings and help heal them without words. You are such a gift. And this person took that gift away from you because they wanted to. They wanted to hurt you. They wanted to make you feel like you could, if I can't, like, they would say to you, like, even either make you feel this, or they would literally say this to you is, if I don't love you, nobody's going to love you. Okay. And that was their own wound. They are a deeply wounded soul. And I want you to cut ties with this person. I want you to sit there and literally cut ties with that person. Cut cords from that person. Cut their energy out of, call you back your power. Okay? All right? And maybe that'll be included in that sensual one. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that one. Call back your power from that fucker. Excuse my language, but he was one. Yeah. Okay. And then I want you to flood your space with what makes you feel beautiful and sensual and just dress yourself in ways you never have before. Literally, go buy a dress and I get chills as I say that, and some new shoes, and put on some makeup and curl your hair and dance. Okay. Oh, I got such chills as I said that. Well, he's an ass, okay? And he's a very wounded soul. And so, that's why when you do this, it's going to help heal your kiddos too, because I see that. And there's so much in you you have to give. Do you understand me? I see it. You're a beautiful gift to any man that comes into your space that deserves it. Okay? You really, truly are. Kind of like I used to be, like what makes him happy, I'm going to do this. And you don't even have to ask him. You just pay attention. 11101. You just pay attention to the things that spark their joy and you do it naturally. This is who you are. And it's such a gift, Amy. And nobody has ever noticed that in you. And so hopefully just by me validating that, it's going to start flooding your space with love. Okay. And then as you're doing this, and you're not doing it for the other person to come in, you're doing it to make yourself feel beautiful and love and feeling sensual. And it's okay to get a little horny in that, okay, because that's our natural ability to be there. And that's going to call him in with a vengeance. But be careful, because you might get like 5 guys knocking at your door. It's true. It happens. So be mindful of that. Only the ones that make you feel like that tingle, that's the one. Okay. That's the one, not the one where it's mostly in here, but the one where we can feel it everywhere else. That's the one. So even if you get 3 guys coming, go for the one that you feel, not that you think. Okay. So if you're like, is this the one? It's not the one. Okay. I knew the day I met. Okay. The first time I had a wonderful encounter. It's not the first day I met him. The first day he came over to my home, he didn't leave. I wanted him to stay. I was talking to my twin flame, and just talking to him lit my soul on fire. You're so welcome. And just his words out of his mouth, his voice, everything was resonating through my soul. And I didn't want him to leave ever. And the next day, I knew I loved him. I even told Spirit I love him. And I got such chills all the way down my body. They're like, yeah, duh, if I could only go back. Because I didn't think he loved me. Because I didn't know. And so our body knows. Do you understand? And so your key is to tune into your body, because our body knows. Logical mind will tell you otherwise, but our body always knows. Okay. So get that crapper out of your energetic field. Cut his energy out. Cut the cords out. It's not going to do anything it's just going to give you your power back. Call your power back from him. It comes back cleansed. And I want you to write a letter. You're going to get angry in that letter. You're going to get emotional in that letter. And you may end up tearing it up when you're done. That's okay. That's that release. I can see you doing it. So I can see you crying at first. And then I can see you like yelling. I can see the pen like you fucker. You know what I mean? But that's a release. And that's okay. And it's not on anybody but that paper and that pen. Okay? Because we got to release. We have to. It's okay. So you've got to allow that process to occur. And then I want you to feel beautiful. And I want you to dance. And I want you to sing. And you're creative so draw your clothes. Do whatever brings you joy and makes you feel sensual and happy and sexual all at the same time. Because that's okay. Okay? You're a gift. You are not a burden. He is the wounded soul, not you. Okay? That whole, if I can't love you, 14, nobody else will. If I don't love you, nobody else can, is a deep wound within themselves of abandonment. Do you understand? Deep wound of abandonment and abuse mixed and control and not something you want to let take over your soul. Cut that shit out. Okay. Absolutely. That was beautiful. Well, thank you for allowing me to do that to Miss Hitch. That was a beautiful. And then I will do a meditation on connecting to the love goddess within us, or God, or our sensual self. I want to make it tailored for male and female. And so I'll let the spirits guide me through that. I don't know exactly what it will be, but I'm going to do that. And then just know the Christ Light one is being changed to the 18th for whatever reason. They're waiting. It might possibly be for the twin flame unions. So just hold space for that as well. And I'm feeling this overwhelming love for my twin flame. Cool. Okay. And so that is in the air. There's definitely a shift in the air. I'm going to do that one meditation again for more healing, because they said I only had 40% left of healing to do, period. And so I'm going to rock that shit. I'm going to go deep into that stuff. Because the more we heal, you guys, the more light comes in, the more we rise, and the more we ascend, period. That's how you ascend. That's why this whole last year people felt the urge to have to heal things and to have to just keep going along those things. 5, 5, 5, 11. I have not seen so many 5s in a channel message or live until this one. There's been nothing but 5s and 3s. So it's very validating that changes are definitely coming through. But they're saying new beginnings all around, through and through. And I keep going back to that day I first had my twin flame over here. And I just wish I could lay in that bed again with him and never move. That's honestly where I'm at. I don't know why that's coming up right now. And I'm going to make him a wand. I don't know why. But I feel the need to. Maybe he wants one. I don't know. But I'm going to make you guys yours today too. So that's the joy I'm going to fill in my space, is getting creative. And then tomorrow I'm going to finish my meditation workshop. And then I meet with my coaching stuff. And so I'm really excited for that. Okay. So is there anything else you guys want me to talk about or do? I'm here for you. I like the Q&As. And I know most of you that are always come on here work with me. You're well aware of what these things are and what the ascension is and what's coming and how to listen to your guides now. So I'm super proud of all of you. You've all worked with Gigi. You're amazing. And I'm super proud of you. Amy D, you are so beautiful and so amazing. And I'm super proud of you and Jacinth and all of you. You have fought so many battles. It was 1717 when I said that. And I just think you need to hear this, because it's hard to get that validation when we're doing these things on our own, and we can't tell everybody what we're doing because not everybody understands it in a spiritual realm unless they're doing the same work. And so I'm getting chills and emotional, but I'm very, very proud of all of you. Very proud of all of you. You've come a very long way. You're strong bitches. You're strong as hell. And you are very much so leaders. And you deserve the world. You deserve maximum abundance and love and light. Can I speak of what is happening with the kids? Your kids? My kids? Kids in general? What do you mean? Jacinth wants to know on recent eclipse energy. So yes, I do have some insight on that, Jacinth. It is a super important time so with this eclipse energy of the sun, it's important to know that 1818, things are going to be rising for you to release. So if you get any visuals of things from your past, if you get any emotional things coming up, Gigi's proud of all of us too. I love it. You're so beautiful, you guys. Whatever. Okay, absolutely, Amy. I will definitely tap into what the kids are going to go through and experience through and through. Okay. Aww, Amy D, thank you. It's all of us together, though, sunshine. I'm not me without you guys. So back to the eclipse energy. So at the beginning of the video, I did that part of that message I channeled. And the other day I channeled one too for it. It truly is about allowing yourself to, how can I say this? There's layers to it. So with the eclipse sun and the new moon type thing going together, you guys know I don't believe in the moon. The moon was a false entity. It truly was, because I've eliminated what it was. And there was like these weird ties to the moon and to satellites. That's not a joke. and I cut those cords. So when it comes to the moon, I really don't focus on that one very much. But the solar eclipse was very, very, very important. So there's huge solar flares coming. I keep seeing the wave. So that's the earth. Okay. It's doing something to the earth, but it's also doing something on a collective level. It's bringing in new energies that are going to shift things in a major way for the collective. Now, on an individual level, it's causing things to rise inside of us that we may not want to feel, we may not want to see. And if we're not listening to our guides, you can get tower moments big time right now. Okay. And so that's what this is doing. It's there for a reason. It's there to remove what no longer serves on a mass level. The solar eclipse energies that are fluctuating in through this are there to remove what no longer serves on a mass level. And with that, they want you just allowing that to release, following your guidance. Okay. And to know that when things come through that we don't quite understand, have faith, jump into them, because so that land has been paved before, okay, through ancestral wisdom, through things that are inside of us. We're going to automatically know what to do. Does that mean everything, all of our answers are within. So as long as we can listen to that, we're going to know exactly what to do. Follow that guidance, and it's going to create magnificent things for you. But they want you following it from joy. If it's your joy, you're golden. If it makes you happy, you're good. Follow it from there. Okay, it's very, very, very important. It's also sparking a deeper awakening. So the solar eclipse 21, 21, 21, 22 is causing more people to wake up because of the fact that it's literally forcing things to rise out of you that no longer serve. And so it's like that heart expansion is causing that, and it's causing more of the ego mind to dissolve. Okay. And this is individual and on a mass level. Use it to manifest like crazy, but only manifest when your vibration is high. Only. Because we're always manifesting. You can manifest illness. You can manifest all these other things. Okay. And I talk about this in my course. Okay. My course is going to be quite large with meditations and things as well. So there's a little more to it. But if you can come to a place of joy, you're golden. Okay. Never do anything unless you're there. Because it will come clunky. It will come not complete, and it will come from where you're coming from. Does that make sense? 2217, 2220, 2222. So be mindful of that. But that's what these energies are doing. They're causing massive shifts. So when I grounded us into the earth in the middle of the night last night too, I felt her being very, what you want to call agitated, I guess you could say. So it's like 555 again. Holy shit. Large influxes of energy. And she is going to release them in some way, shape, or form. I'll tell you that. And in my visions, I keep seeing the waves. I don't know all of what that means. Spirit comes cryptic sometimes or literal. So just be mindful of your surroundings. Okay. But so that's what these are really about. It's about finding your joy and manifesting from it. Okay. Creating from that space. And if it's an emotional time for you, allow yourself to go within and just get prepared to act. Is that making sense now? So that's what that gestation card was really saying. It's like, go within, but don't get complacent. Meditate, calm your mind, 2323. Follow any guidance that comes at any time and be prepared to act. That's what this is a time for. You're welcome. It was a lot. I hope that all made sense for you. I tried to channel that the other day in my cards, and I didn't like it. So I deleted that video because it wasn't in my spot. It wasn't where I could use my hand. So I deleted it. But that was basically what it was saying. It's like, be willing to take new risks. You would have never, it's that comfort zone card. Okay. It's time to get out of our comfort zones, my friends, because your comfort zones are going to fade away. And that's just what's coming. Nobody's going to be in a comfort zone into this new world because it's all going to be new. It really, truly is. The one that keeps sticking out to me is changing times now to a world less spoken. Okay. That's literally what we're going into. Now, Amy asked about the kids. Any kids? Kids are definitely more innocent. Now, keep in mind, Everybody signed up for things. Okay. So certain kids are also going to probably leave. And that's okay. We have to let that be. However, kids are affected by their families. So if, like, for instance, with you, Amy, and your kids, the work you do affects your kids. Okay. And I've seen that with my son as well. My oldest son, if you guys remember, quite some time ago, I was actually worried about because he thought I was nuts. He doesn't believe in this stuff. He does now. And he doesn't watch what I do. He's not with me every day. I had shine light through him one time because he got sick. That sparked some changes with him. Spirit says he needs ayahuasca. And the last time he came, he started playing with my bowls. Like, this is not something this kid would normally do. He's a Taurus. He's very stubborn. But as we rise, they rise. As we grow, they grow. Okay? So keep that in mind as well. I'm like open to, I've always said from the beginning is if there are kids like left, I would take them in. You know what I mean? And so just be open that, so what Spirit tells me is that they're 10 steps ahead of everybody. Nobody's here to suffer. Some will go, some will stay, some will never know life this way. The ones who will never know life this way are the ones who are not either of the light or not accepting the light, not of the same vibrations and that stuff, those dark entities, things like that. That's that separation of the two worlds. They can't tell us everything. That's the first thing they're saying as well. But they are letting me know that every transition, so nobody's going to be 100% happy, but it's going to be okay. It's all well planned out. Everybody's soul had a purpose and they're going to go where they're meant to go. And there's nothing we can do about that. However, if you are waking up, if you are doing things, then guess what? Your loved ones are affected too. So that's my twin flame too. Like I think he has a kid and I've thought about that and he needs to step up for him because he will affect him too. Like we have got, like, that's just the way it goes. Okay. Does that make sense? So every person you see that is raising the vibration, kids are more affected. They're super sensitive to that stuff. And so it's important that we let that be and have faith in that because kids are innocent. The thing I don't like though is the pushing of the V on the kids. But there's nothing we can really do about that either. Except for I knew that was coming and that's why I removed my kids out of school a while back. So even my ex was like, they're like secretly Ving kids in schools. And I'm like, yeah, you only have to be 11 years old and they'll do it without parents' permission in some states. So, and I think here is one of them because in one of the schools, they actually have a thing set up with the V's there and they're giving them out if the kid is a certain age without the parents' permission at times. It might right now be with the parents' permission, but of course they're pushing fear on that. And it's nuts. It truly is nuts. And so this is another reason why Spirit had me pull my kids out of regular school 2 years ago now. And so that's the one thing that really bothers me is that now we are pushing our kids to do that. And I happen to know what that does to your internal system. Now, again, some of those V's are kind of like a placebo. They've showed me that a long time ago. Some of them are not, 28, 22. Some of them are truly cutting them off from source. Some of them cause you to not be able to produce children. And there are multiple things about them, and they were very purposeful. And I don't even know if you guys are aware that they used even HIV in some of those, okay, to create that virus. And so it was a man-made thing. Okay, I've said this from a long time. It makes me sick too. Absolutely. It makes me very sick. And so that's the only reason I'm like, can't we rush this any faster? Can't we change this scenario? And the problem is they're pushing it so fast that if the changes came in that fast, it would be catastrophic on another level. Okay. Because the more people we wake up, the more people it's better. Okay. And so that's what that is. That's why we can't just snap our fingers and have all these things change because it wouldn't be a blessing. like it's meant to be. And so what everybody can do is start imagining, and this is kind of what I do. I'll imagine like bubbles around these people, bubbles around these kids, and just ask for protections, ask for things to change in that way the best that we can. It's like when these major fires were happening one time, I would imagine the fire folding in on itself and then just getting drenched out. And it really worked. The fire was like out the next day, and it was this massive fire that was spreading thousands of acres. And it truly worked. And then all of a sudden they had it out. And so the best thing we can do is just imagine the exposures coming in that way quicker, which is rough, because as those exposures comes for what it really is, some people are going to get angry. And we can't avoid that. We just can't avoid that, because they went against free will. And I got a lot of chills up my leg when I said that. Spirit can't go against free will. We don't use fear. And anytime I've had fear come out, they're like, recon, fix that. 3033. That's why that Fabio guy gets me, because sometimes he pushes like a little fear with his eccentric ways, right? Like his rah, it kind of creates fear. So be mindful of that. And that's why when they're like, well, you better get this to work, I'm like, this is why Spirit had me not wanting to do that a long time ago. And I should have always listened. So protect your kids. Know what your kids are doing. Know what they're doing at school. And if you need to pull them out, pull them the hell out. Because I'll tell you what, school is also going to crumble. It is part of the false design, the false matrix, and it's not going to remain the same. 3111. So I've even thought about unschooling my kids next year and just being, I don't even know if the structure is going to be there anymore. However, there's another side of that. 3122. Learning is a very positive thing. And so Spirit actually has me kind of creating things in my head, and I can see things going forward. Okay. So I truly believe 3133, there will be replacements of a kind. We will come up with better ways and better things, and what's true to learn, and how to meditate, and how to understand the land, and how to understand to make food. And I'm getting chills. And some schools, like Manitou Elementary, was already kind of going that way. And so some of them might survive in certain structural ways while the other parts of it falls away. Does that make sense? So there's going to be a lot of changes coming forward with that. There truly is. School is not going to be what you think it is anymore. And those people are going to pay a price. They really are going to pay a price. And so with the kids, what makes me the worst upset is they don't have a choice. And so I pray that Spirit works in miraculous ways, and a lot of them will get the protected source. Okay. Yeah. A lot of them will get the protected source. So be mindful, willing to take control of your surroundings and your kids. And the more you work on you and heal you, you heal your kids. Okay. Part of my twin flame and I coming together affects all of our kids. They told me this a while ago, and I thought it meant that I had to push them away, but we're actually meant to love each other, and all of our kids will be affected. Yes. And so that's what I'm already looking into and doing. And you guys of my group are well aware of that, because I'm going to need ya. I have things being created. So, there's lots of changes coming. But I want you to imagine protection for those kids like you've never, like feel it in your solar plexus. Okay. And imagine energetic waves, 3323, going that way. Okay. Like I want them to be stopped. 3333. I really do. And I get upset sometimes. I'm like, why? Spirit doesn't have to be so freaking slow. Why all this work that I did had to be done over a year and be implemented? And they said they are just pushing it so fast because they know what's coming for them. Does that make sense? They are pushing them faster and harder because they know what's coming for them. Okay. And as we shift and this more love is brought down and light is brought down, all is going to be exposed. It truly, truly is. And it's not going to be pretty, because then you're going to have people realizing what they've done. Okay. There's been a patent on that V for since 2017. And that anybody that has really been in the medical field, because I've had medical training and things like that, knows that these were planned. It was man-made and it was planned. Okay. It didn't come from bats. 34. It just didn't. And all will be exposed. Okay. But until then, the kiddos are so innocent that I'm sending so much protections that way that I can. And that's really the only thing we can do, and protect our loved ones and all that. So Amy, if that's the case, feel free to change that reality, because it's going to change anyways. Okay. And I don't want my kids being exposed when things start going down either. There was another school shooting recently, in like Michigan or something like that. I don't know, and I've talked to you guys about loud crowds, didn't I? So as we pull through these energies, because the earth is not the same, we are in a higher vibration in the earth. And so things are starting to rumble and crumble and change one by one. And I don't want my kids in a large crowd like that when it happens. That's how I feel. That's my intuition. That's my spirit guide saying, pull them out. I've been homeschooling my kids now for 2 years, since spirit told me to, before the stuff hit, because I knew it was coming before it hit. Okay. And I used to say, I don't want to push anybody, but don't take it. 555. And then you see all these people having fear pushed on them, and even spiritual people were divided, and it was a big deal. And that's just the way it is. Michigan, 2 towns away from Gigi. Okay. See, I just got chills too. But on a mass level, I feel like that might get worse, unfortunately. Where crowds are, where things like that, you're going to start to see people's true colors coming through, and they don't have to be full grown to start showing those colors. Does that make sense? Like on a mass way, they're not going to be where they're like lying in wait anymore. It's literally bringing all that to the surface. We had it at that concert thing where all of a sudden like 9 or 10 people were trampled. And then it was like that parade. And even my son was talking about these things, and he's like, you're right, Mom, like your guides are right. And so now he's starting to notice, and he's starting to grow, and he's starting to come into a different version of himself. I'm so very proud of. And I want that for my twin flames child as well. I really do. So the more he wakes up, the more it'll affect him and things like that. Like, so I just got chills. So have faith in that. And the more we raise our vibration, the more we help the collective. Okay. It's super important. And I'll get into you can feel the mind space come up where it's very negative. It's very heavy. And that's where you combat that. We can do that on an individual level, because we're all a part of the collective fungus. That's that card, that fungus among us. And so if we're the naysayer going, this isn't going to happen, this is horrible, this is what it is, or you better get the V, like you're creating a wave of that across the board. And I'm personally not going to go that way. I fight that. I combat that. I drop out of my head, and I'm like, Spirit, help me clean this space. Okay. Avoid large crowds. If you feel like pulling your kids out, pull them the heck out, because I don't want mine to see anything like that crumble more than it already did. Okay. More than they already do, more than they already know. Because it's just going to continue across the board, unfortunately. And what if your kids are in school? Let me ask, just on a personal level, how would you feel if your kids are in school and then all of a sudden all these exposures hit on the media? Now, our kids are all connected to the media. Okay. They have phones, they have access to all these things. And even if yours don't, the neighbor does. Okay. And all of a sudden it's exposed that all these things were false. I mean, the mass chaos alone can be a thing. Okay. Now, none of these are guarantees, but it's always a possibility. And so personally, I'm like, my kids never had to wear masks anywhere except for maybe to a store when we first would go. They never had to worry about sitting 6 desks away from people or being pushed to get the V, because even online, their teachers are like, oh, we got to go get the V. And then their teachers drop off sick and they don't come back. And this has been a continual. It's been a continual experience. And so even my kids are like, oh, that's sad, you know. And teachers are being forced to take it just to teach, and they're pushing it on the kids. Now I ask you, why are they pushing it on the kids? The things that make you go, okay. So what Spirit says is follow your intuition, follow your guidance, and be willing to step boldly into things that you don't know, because 33:3, the road is actually paved for you, okay, through ancestral wisdom that's inside of you, 12:12. It's there, and you're going to be safe, and you're going to be okay. You're not going to get backlash, I guarantee you, because it's just going to fall away. Yes. And Gigi, it can be a daunting task sometimes right now because the energy is so up and down with the collective. It truly, truly is. But the more we raise our own vibration, we're affecting that collective. And so raise that vibration and then just send out the light that everything's going to be all right. What else can we do? We can't be like this one lady where she's going to stores, knocking all the masks off, saying, this is crazy, because they'll still arrest your ass, okay? And then they'll say you're mental, and they'll put you in a mental institution. So there's still that aspect of it. I can't go into school saying, don't you dare touch these kids, because I know what this V is, because they're not going to listen to me. Even though I have proof of everything I've done and who I am, you think people are going to believe it or listen? Hail to the no. They believe what they want to believe, and they come out of a place of fear because our free will is messed with. And they've 44, and they've pushed fear so hard, it's like ingrained. Yet the ones who are dying are not the ones who didn't have the V. Take note of that. Unless they're lying to you or unless something else is going on. Okay. It's not to say the sickness isn't real. It was man-made. Okay. But they made mistakes, 4111, in making it. It's not as deadly as they hoped. Okay. But the other part is, so be mindful of that. There is a purpose behind it all. Okay. And there's a purpose with the movies that have been created. So when I would be at the autistic center working with my kiddos and they'd be running around going, zombies, zombies. I'm like, oh my good Lord, if they only knew why they were conditioned in that way. Because if you're being given that something 4141 that cuts you off from source, it cuts you off from reality, and all they have to do is like flip the switch to change you, what do you think that is? Pay attention to the movies that have been released. The Truman Show, my spirits were like the Truman Show. And I never watched that really until I did all this work. And Fiji's in it, the moon was in it. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, holy shit, that's real. So they would really make you pay for your own things that were coming into your reality, and you would pay for it as if it's your entertainment. Not every one of them, not everybody is attached to that. There's certain people who would fight against it, and those were usually for 222, the ones that were shunned. Okay, they're ones that were usually blacklisted and shunned and kept quiet and threatened or murdered. It's real. Like, you can see this across the board, and now more than ever. Okay. So just be mindful of that. There's a reason why they would push those things of the pandemics and stuff. So it's like the whole Spanish flu. Like, they know that unfortunately it was placed there. Like, this has been proven. They just don't like to talk about it. And they surely won't push it into our kids' minds and education. Like, Columbus discovered what now? No, he didn't. He murdered people and then claimed it. Okay. And so I am unschooling my kids all the time, but the reason I have forced them to go to homeschool for this time is to keep them in a routine, and learning is really good. We just got to be mindful of what we're teaching them. And my kids will sit down and meditate with me. I make them listen to Hertz music. And the other day we did a little chakra clearing together, guided from the YouTube. And so my kids are 13 and 10. And then my oldest is going to be 20 in May. So he's 19. And they all know that crying is okay. They all know 444. My oldest used to call me in high school, and this was before everything hit. He's like, Mom, they're eating Tide Pods. Can you come get me now? Like, this shit's stupid. Like, he wasn't learning anything from school. And so I pulled him out, and I homeschooled him a bit in the end. And then he just ended that way. And so take charge of your environment, take charge of what you're doing for your kids, take charge of what there is no full matrix that is going to stop you at this point. So be mindful of that. Okay. I guarantee you taxes are going to go away. I can guarantee you certain things. The day it all happens is beyond me. I know next year they're calling the year of the purge. Okay. That's when I feel like all exposures are coming. All things are going to be coming in a massive wave. All right. It's not to say things won't come by the end of this year as well. We cannot control when, and the more we think about when, is the more it like doesn't happen, right? 4444. The best thing you can do is trust your own instincts, trust your own guidance, follow your light's purpose, right? And if spirit's telling you to do something, you've got a tap on your shoulder. If you feel the nudge to do something, I would do it, and I would do it with a quickness, because tower moments are very real. All right. If we're not following what we're supposed to be doing, we created our own things before we came here. So that's your free will. And if something's keeping you out of that, spirit has a way of kicking it out from under you so you can go, oh, whoops, shit, that hurt. I didn't realize. You're really doing it for yourself. Okay. Because we're not listening. We're not following our own path, our own light. Okay. That's what karma kind of is. It's ways to learn lessons and things of that nature as well. Okay. All that make good sense? And so nothing's about fear. It's all about you're coming into your own power, your own reality, and you're making your own reality. 5444. And that's pure freedom at hand. Pure freedom at hand. They took away our freedom of spirituality. They took away our freedom of source and knowing what's right. And that's what the V's truly do. They cut people off from that. Yep. I've seen it. I've experienced it with people I was working with at the center, one of the centers, when it first went down. And what's really crazy, you guys, and I just got chills, when she first got the vaccine, the V, she would say to me, like, she was like processing backwards. It was really weird because she wasn't awake prior, and then she got it. And all of a sudden she was processing backwards. She's like, the false concept of time is really weird. And I was processing that today and every day. And I had just done the video of time around that time, but I didn't tell her. It was like all of a sudden she was processing backwards until one day she wasn't there anymore. She wasn't her anymore. And she loved working with those kids. It is something you have a passion for or you don't. 4644. And she had trained me and she had the passion. And she was like maybe 23 years old. And she got the V, and then she started seeing things, but processing backwards. And then one day she was not nice. She was not connected. It was a bad feeling being around her. She didn't want to be around the kids anymore. She was constantly calling off and being like, can you take my shift? Can you cover these kids? They're driving me. It was like a totally different person. I've seen it unfold in front of my eyes. I've done healings on people, and granted that we've gone against free will, it's like they're going to get a last-ditch effort to heal, I feel, on the most part, and things like that for those that can, okay? It's like when Prometheus came through. He says he's the God of humankind. We don't do these things to hurt people, right? You give everybody a chance, and then you give them another chance, and then we give them another chance until there's no more chances to give. Okay, so I feel like that still comes into play for the ones that we can. There is a certain dose of it, though, that completely like cuts you off and makes you the zombie, unfortunately. And that might be that M1. That's the one I feel more related to, that one. But I don't know. I feel like it's a mixture of different ones. Like it just depends on your luck of the draw, unfortunately. And that's the way it is. Okay. You don't have to believe me. Do your research because everything's there for you now. It's not just me saying it like when I was saying as above, so below, when I was trying to warn you guys for what was coming 2 years ago. This is all here now. It's being proven now, and there's something to prove it if you just do your research. Okay. It's all across the board. It just depends on who you're listening to. Nothing is a conspiracy at this point because it's all out there for you to see. Okay. It really, truly is. And it's going to get more on a massive level. So personally, I'm keeping my kids out of large crowds, 4844, not from family necessarily, but from everything else. Okay. We maybe go to the grocery store, but it's a quick in and out. Just because 1221, I don't know. I know things are coming. It's just, you never know when and how. And I don't want them being exposed to those things. You know what I mean? Like the confusion that's going to hit, or the big wake up, like, oh shit, what did we do? What did we allow into our space? How dare they? So imagine if you find out the people who are in control are the ones that really hurt you. What's that going to do on a mass level at one time? That's why we needed most people to wake up the best they could before that hits. Okay. Because the more people that are awake, the less likely you get mass chaos and that war with the humankind. Okay. Because that'll be the only war we really go into. The Civil War. And that's just the way it is. But it can be beautiful. It can be joyous. It can be glorious. But everybody's going to be challenged. Everybody's going to have some point where they're like, I don't like that. And that's just the way it is. You can't have these mass changes and everybody not be affected in some way. Okay. But the choice is yours. The choice is absolutely yours for what you focus on and what you listen to. And I made a mistake with my twin flame. I didn't listen there. And that's been my tower moment, and a very, very, very painful one because I love him so much. So be mindful. Even if you don't understand, please listen. Listen to what your gut is telling you. Listen to that nudge you get that keeps nudging you every day. Why is this bugging me? Why do I keep seeing this every time I turn on the computer? Why do I keep feeling this? Do it, and do it without hesitation, because it's going to create abundance and prosperity and a beautiful reality for you and an easier shift, or it's going to be missed and it's going to get clunky and 50-55, something happened you didn't want to happen. Okay? It's true. These changes are very real. And all you have to do is follow that compass. Don't let people sway that compass, that internal compass. Your compass should always be 5111 pointed inward. Okay? Not towards other people guiding your way. Even when I say something, you either feel it resonates or you're like, and that's okay. Follow your compass. Okay? Super important. All right. And it could be where I want proof. Well, I've given you proof. Check it out and just wait, because you'll get it. Spirit has a way of working that way. So if you want proof, just ask and it'll be provided. Okay. It will come to you. It will be given to you. Spirit will absolutely give that to you. Well, this is what they want. And they do it with me telepathically too. Like I'll hear things and I'll be like, nope, it's this 5151. Okay. But I can't give anything that's not of the light because I'm of the light. Okay. So follow the light, follow that guidance, follow your compass, and take charge of your reality, because you've got to know that by now that things are not normal at the very least. And that whole matrix is going to go bye-bye. Okay. I'm already preparing my kids that Christmas isn't going to be the same anymore. It's not about buying things 5222 on a mass level, because we're not going to have these huge conglomerates really going forward. It's not going to be about items and the next games. It's going to be about earth, and it's going to be about energy and creating magic that way. It's not to say we won't have cool things and technology and things. It's just going to switch the focus. Does that make sense? It's going to bring into reality what matters more again, which is love, unconditional love. Then everything else will follow. And that's the truth. Okay. And I've gotten so many 5255. Big changes are inbound. 555 is all about changes, switching timelines, and awakening. So use this energy to create your world. If you want to live in fear, going, oh shit, then that's what's going to happen. If you want to paint your picture every day of this beautiful place, this beautiful life, time, freedom, calling in what you need, listening to your guidance, dancing in this beautiful energy. And like Cheryl would say, ride the wave, don't get hit by the wave. That's what that means. All right. Ride the wave. Listen 333. Listen to your guidance. That's why animals are so in tuned that way. They can tell you when something's not right because they'll act not right. Okay? So pay attention to the subtle cues, the calmer energy, what's not exactly meeting the eye, and you're going to be all right. 5355, I can't make this crap up. So many synchronicities with this one. Okay? So I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to change the date of the workshop to the 18th. Because that makes sense too. 8 and 1 is 9, which represents letting go for new beginnings. And that will be at 2:22. Okay. 222 is what they're calling for. That's a master number, and it's also about balance. And it also is a twin flame number, but not for everybody. So it's going to be super powerful, and I'm super excited. And I will get right on a meditation for, so I got one request for like the, what was it? Love, sensual, to feeling more love within ourselves, to feeling more worthy. How about that? 54, 54, 54, 55. Any other requests for meditations before I cut off today? Because I'm going to get into making them. And I've got Natalie Holloway video coming through, which I don't think is going to be a shocker to any of you. But I just got to get it out to clear the energy, to clear the karma, so that she can ascend. Okay, that's what it's about. That's why I do these things. And that's why I know they're going to be brought to the surface. I have no doubt about that in my mind. It's about clearing it out of the earth and clearing it for them. Okay, you're so welcome. Amy D, the workshop coming on the 18th. I have a workshop for Christ Light coming through. So I got a download. I'll read the message again really quick from the angels, the gods. Bear with me. Can't carry anything with my arm. Ow, 5551. Ouch. I don't want to just let it hang. Sometimes I do. I'm like, I want my elbow to straighten, please. And they won't let me. Okay. So the Ascension workshop is from the gods. They took me into a beautiful place up above the stars into the heavens. And it was a place. There was like a Colosseum type place. Okay. I can't remember the name I called it, but it's about surrendering into eternal space, stepping into higher frequencies, the path to the highest light ascension, clearing our body on an ethereal level, releasing what no longer serves through Christ's light. Okay. By the way, if you are doing the coaching, you can get a discount on this one. Channeled message for the Ascension workshop from the gods of time. Okay. And this one I'll explain a little bit after I deliver the message. But it's from the gods of time, which I relate to so much. I felt like I was at home. But it says, greetings, I am Ashram. And I looked that up, and I'll explain that after this. I'm like, who's Ashram? Part of the gods of time. I come today to show you a glorious place above the stars into the heavens above. And that's where I went. It was beautiful and golden. It was just euphoric feeling. Of golden tundra, shiny light space, bringing you into eternal love, allowing yourself to release all earthly matters. So it's a major cleansing and healing. And beliefs, stepping into newness you have not yet seen on this earth, allowing a freedom of energies galore, seeing things in a new light from the heavens above. For we are bringing heaven down to earth. That is the purpose. That is our birth. Being reborn into the stars above. Those are glorious rights and of our hard work. Allow yourself to shine like never before. Allow yourself to rise, stepping through the eternal door. And so it now is. And they showed me bringing down Christ's light. Meditation for healing between parents and children. I like that, Gigi. Absolutely. I'm glad I can look back at these two. Okay. Meditation for healing between parents and children, and one for feeling sensual and love and full of that. Okay. So when I looked up ashram, I'm like, who is ashram? The gods of time. Of course, there was nothing on a god named ashram. There is, however, places of sanctuary called ashram. So people tap into that energy. I do believe he is part of the gods of time. It's a mass energy, and people tap into it. So on Earth, they have places they call ashram, especially in India. And it's places where they can go and meditate. It's like holy places. Okay, there's a reason for that. There is a connection there. 5855. So I'm like, what is ashram? I'd never heard of it. I don't ever research this stuff until after. And so I do believe he is part of the gods of time, and I believe people tap into that energy, and it's this holy sanctuary where they go and may meditate. Okay. And so when I went up, I saw this beautiful place. And they said ashram, the gods of time. Okay, so I feel like it's also mass energy all at one time of the gods. And people use like ley lines and energy places on earth to create an ashram as well. So there's quite a connection of this. It's very real. It's very on point, and it blew my mind again. I'm like, and I've been there one other time when I first had my awakening, and I was going through this other lady, and she said, we're in the presence of the gods of time. And I had no idea what that meant or that I was a part of that at all at that time. And she was giving me weird looks, like, and she would treat me so bad. Like, don't you know who you are? Like, no, I don't, lady. That's why I'm here. 59, 55, 59, 59. So it took me a while to put that together. But it's truly an energy of the gods. It's a sanctuary of the gods. It's full of heaven energy. It really, truly is. And I go up above the stars, and it's like this beautiful Colosseum type place. That's the best way I can describe it. And so we're going there, and we are bringing down Christ's light. That's very real, and that's very happening. And remember when I was like, what does Jesus have to do with this? Because in the Bible, it kept saying Jesus will be reborn, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, I cleared his soul, and I saw how he died, and I processed his death, which took me a long time to process as well. I felt him die for a good 20 minutes. He was poisoned. It was very painful, and he bled out of every orifice. That's where the blood came from. The cross was a way to transfer him across the desert. He didn't die on the cross. That is false. He was murdered by John the Apostle. That was one of the first mysteries I solved, I guess, basically, or deaths that I processed in what happened to him. It was like the second or third. They had me do other people first. Like that guy for Solomon. Solomon killed him. And then I think that may have been the first one I did. And then the Jesus one came through with a vengeance, unplanned. And so there's no doubt in my mind that we're now bringing down Christ's light through this one. Okay. But I feel like it's just going to be mass healing, mass amounts of love, mass amounts of light. What all it means, I don't know. We never know until I go into these workshops. If that's someone coming, I've got it at a little lower price. If you're doing the coaching and you want a discount, let me know, and I will give you one. And it will be on the 18th at 2:22. Originally it was on the 8th at 12:12, but I think they're waiting for the twin flames to come together. So I've been working on that super, super hard. And every time I do, I feel more in love with him. So that's a good sign to me. If not coming together, at least being to where love is there. I don't know. And look, I'm releasing as I tapped into that. And for some reason, I feel like I need to make him a wand. So I don't know if he watches this and I'm hearing that. I don't know, but I'm making him one. But I'm going to make your guys's first. 2222. So, yeah. Allow yourself to shine like never before. Allow yourself to arise, stepping through the eternal door. And so it now is. Kind of mind-blowing stuff. I don't know what to expect. I never do. Until we get there. And then I'm like, oh, whoa, this is what happened. Oh, whoa. And then the ashram. I'd never known about ashrams before or what that meant. He says he is a god, part of the gods of time. And so it might have just been the space I was channeling. I'm not 100% sure. But there was somebody there. And sometimes these come from my voice, they say. So I don't know. Above the stars, into the heavens above. And that's exactly where I went. Okay. Golden tundra and shiny light. That's how it looked. It was like this radiating, beautiful golden light and such euphoric feeling, like everything is right. Nothing can be wrong there. It's just like heaven. It was beautiful. And then I did that other message. My energy was like shining so bright that day that I went there. So it's definitely a beautiful space to be. And it takes your vibration exponentially high. So I'm excited for that one. Okay. It'll be on the 18th at 2:22. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I got to mark that off my calendar too now that I'm thinking about that, because I'm being better about that. So that way when people schedule appointments, I'm not double booking. So the 18th at 2:22, it's a Saturday, which I like that. They usually fall on the weekdays. So I'm happy about that. And 8 and 1 is 9. So there's no coincidence there either. Things are continually falling on 3, 6, 9 lately. which is Nikola Tesla, and in biblical times and stuff like that. So these are all purposeful. They're big. What it's going to do for the collective, I don't know. We will see. We will see. We will see. I'm excited though. And that one guy, the Fabio guy, he's actually talked about the coming of Christ light too. And I never listened to that 444 until something comes through for me. But here it is. So remains to be seen. We will hook it up. And I'm super excited. So with all that being said, you guys, for the whole entire month of December, I'm still doing buy one, get one free for healing sessions. Any healing session you guys buy, you get one free. However, on my website, it's not a capability of doing a BOGO deal. So whatever you purchase, I will either give you a code or you'll just schedule the second one by picking a date. Okay. So keep that equal, lesser value. Whatever you purchase on a healing session, you get one free all through the rest of this month. Okay. So I'm still honoring that, even though it's not on my website, because my website was not tailored to BOGO deals. I'm like, are you kidding me? Psh, whatever. But I can give you either a code for 100% off or just set up an appointment. So that is still going. I'm going to go get creative, get my kids cleaning because I can't do dishes. Oh, man, that's an OCD thing for me, too. I used to be so bad with OCD with showers and stuff. And with dishes, I am, because if they're not cleaned right, I freak out. And then the whole 5:55, whole kitchen's contaminated in my mind. So it's a struggle having my kids do the dishes, but I can't do them. Look at this thing. It's so bulky. I go Tuesday to find out more about that, too. So I'll keep you guys posted. However, this was an awesome live. And so I can't wait to see you guys again soon, to rap with you all, to have fun with you all, and just know I'm going to be popping some stuff out. I love you so much too, and you all are beautiful and worth so much and heaven sent, and I'm not me without all of you. And I'm going to be popping out some meditations this week. Natalie Holloway is the next one they're wanting to clear that energy for the collective, and we'll see what else comes. Okay, so we have one for healing kiddos and parents' relationships, and we have one for sensual, tapping into our sensual selves, male or female. I will work that. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you, Donita. Thank you so much. I've been really blessed because I've actually had Jesus come through. I've done my own healing and the Pleiadians, and hopefully it's going to be good. So much healing. So I love you all, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Keep your eyes peeled for the next meditations. Thank you all, and focus on your crown chakra, okay? But I also might do a chakra cleaning meditation soon, too, because it's kind of been nudging me. It's like, I think we need that. And it helps our vibration anytime we do these. So again, you guys, use all the meditations over and over. They do different things each time you use them. The meditations I put out, unless they're the twin flame ones, those are different. But generally speaking, they're not a one and done. You do it once, you tap in deeper every time. Okay, so use them. They are free for you to use. Use the crap out of them because each time you tap in further to different stuff. So you'll have different experiences. Okay. And then also another fairy one coming soon. Okay. Much love to you too. I love you guys. I'm still working on my theme song. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. I don't know. I want one so bad. I want my drums so musical. It's not even funny. 0818. So if you guys, I'm working on it. If you got any suggestions, maybe I can bounce off that. Feel free to roll them out there. Any kind of beats, whatever. I may just use it. I don't know. I want a theme song so bad because I feel like it's a positive thing. I love to sing, and music is all about me. So I'm just going to keep bouncing them out there, trying different ones. Da-da-da-da. I keep getting all theme songs from movies and stuff, and I want my own. So screw that. So that's what it is. Whatever. So much love to all of you, and I will see you as soon. Bye. 888. Peace out.